Let's pop you up there. Hello. How you doing? You alright? I'm back. Tell a friend. Josh is back. So today you're going to have 2 wrestling reviews hopefully up by tonight. I'm not promising that though because Mess Mediacom with Impact don't go live till 5 o'clock. And I think it's going to be from 5, 6, 7. But at 7 o'clock it finishes and it takes a while to edit, so I'll try and get it sorted. But this isn't that. No, because we're in the morning. It's 9:54 in the morning. And I'm back in my lovely home. So you've got a mess of a bookcase, a staircase, and some posters. Oh, we do love this house. Anyway, welcome back. So, World of Sport. This week's episode was amazing. I haven't done my usual because I can't pick a rest of the week. I can't put a female this week because everything was so awesome. I've got so much crap going on here. But news coming from the JJR workroom is I'm going to be doing a special weekly 1 episode a week, because it's not going to be too difficult to do, series. That will be World of Sport. I'll be using the Who mod because the Who mod has all the wrestlers that currently are in World of Sport. I'll be setting everything up over the next few, probably today. I'm going to probably do it in a little bit. I need to go upstairs and do that really. But yeah, so that's all going to be going on. Or it might be done. Might set that up tomorrow, ready for next week. So it'll be 1 episode, 1 hour of World of Sport, recorded and booked by me. How I would do it as a weekly thing. So if it was going to continue as a weekly thing, starting in September with the September Who mod. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Shall we recap? So recap of last week. Then they show you this week. You got Grado ladder match, Creator, which makes no sense, and I'll get to that in a minute. So the show opens up with Cruz coming out saying he don't know anyone explanation. He's calling everyone little people. He don't know the little people explanation. There's only enough space for both of them, and he wants a ladder match with the contract in. And Stu Sanders gets up and agrees to this, even though we already know this match is happening because they told us at the beginning of the show and at the end of last week we'll be having a ladder match. So, I'm sorry if you can hear the washing machine. That's what Mrs. is like. She knows I'm going to record, and she does that. What's the point of advertising it if you're going to do this angle? This angle makes no sense if you're pre-advertising a match. World of Sport, that is the worst thing about this show, and I've given you 5-star review this week. You'll see why in a bit. So, Nathan Cruz versus Adam Maxted is next. That match starts now, ladder match. Maxted is on fire, and he's on Cruz. Cruz is not getting any offense. And there's some brilliant stuff later on. Cruz on the top. So he's laying across the top rope, both legs on either side. He gets drop kicked to the outside. Cruz gets hit with a ladder. He gets tripped up when he first gets the ladder and his head goes into it face first. We're able to see that, but we're unable to see the back body drop onto the ladder, which I think is what happened. Something I noticed tonight is Falling Star Wrestling. There's a Falling Star Wrestling t-shirt. There was an Austin 316 t-shirt near the end. So I thought you weren't allowed to put any other wrestling company's t-shirts on the show, but obviously people are sneaking them in because Falling Star Wrestling was there twice on kids, and then the other one was an adult. So obviously they're kind of being a bit more lax on that, or they're changing them as they get into the arena. Shows in the crowd. Drop kick to Cruz was brilliant. Maxted climbing the ladder. Cruz chips it. And there's a few moments where top rope Cruz Mishoki driver goes up. He's thrown. Maxted is thrown off the off the ladder. There is a moment where he goes for this flying elbow sort of thing, and it doesn't really connect. Maxted top rope kick. I think that's on the next page. Maxted, doesn't really connect. So Adam Maxted climbs the ladder, gets the briefcase. Cruz trying to get back in the ring and to retrieve the Cruz, stop him. Adam Maxted has now got the contract for World of Sport. Nathan Cruz has to leave World of Sport. 5-star match straight off the bat. After the break, we see Cruz talking to the female interviewer in the back, and he's like, "This ain't the end of the road. I will be back in World of Sport, and I will be back to all the UK because I'm the best UK wrestler." So he's not accepting the rules of the match. So we'll have to see where that goes. As being as this is episode 7, and we've only got 3 more episodes, it'll be interesting to see how they build this up. Then we see later today, Justin Seisman's in Stu Sanders' office, and Stu's like, "Yeah, you can get an opportunity again," and he thinks, "Yes, I'll get a title match." And this, hear this, Stu, and Stu's brilliant at being a heel, goes, "Yeah, but it's a tag team match. You're going to be tagging with Joe Hendry against Rampage and Charles Samuels. So that's your main event of the night. That's going to be awesome. Next up is Grain. So this is an interesting moment. Gable Kidd, Liam Slater versus Robbie X versus Crater. Now, it's a four-way match. They're all going after Crater. Crater gets knocked onto one knee on the outside. He's on the outside for quite a bit of time. There's a lot of flippy shit at that point. They're doing a lot of, quick, fast-paced, young, their weight class, high-flying stuff in the ring for quite a period of time. They then get back in the ring. They get Crater onto the mat, and all three of them pin Crater for 1, 2, 3. They're all on top of Crater, even though it's a four-way match, so only one person needs a pin. And then Crater gets up and starts, taking them all out, and he's trying to take off the Max Robbie X. But the question is, who won the match? Because they don't tell us. So I can't rate the match because I don't know who won. So there you go. It was an angle, not a match. So it would have been a 5-star match because it was quite a good match from Crater and all those guys. But, it didn't turn out to be a match. So that was the end of that. Next up was Grado versus Mike Kirby. It was a very interesting match, this was. Kirby was brilliant at what he was doing. But Grado was really good as well, and the fans were all over Grado, and there's a lot of back and forth, and there's quite a few comedy moments. One of the moments I think is Grado gets slipped in the ropes, he holds onto the rope, then Kirby runs at him to try and spear him or do something, and he just walks over and starts pulling at the fans, and Kirby goes straight through the rope, which must take a lot of timing. Grado Cooker reverses kick to the head. Then there's a toothbrush of doom. Whatever. Kirby gets the toothbrush, but then Kirby quickly rolls him up with the feet on the ropes, and it's a 1, 2, 3, and 5-star match. Kirby wins. Another great match tonight. Go and watch World of Sport this week. It's brilliant. Ref telling us not to try this at home. Well done. At least you're not just getting the wrestlers to join in with that, like WWE does. You're getting a referee to do it. Brilliant. Next up is the main event: Seisman and Hendry versus Charles Samuels and Rampage. I'm not going to go through this match too much. There's a lot going on, drop kicks, high flying stuff from Sensum, Joe Hendry doing his mat wrestling and that sort of thing, what he's learned from the Olympics and that. Hendry and Seisman win. CJ Banks was trying to get involved, and all this sort of stuff. It was a what's it called? Full away slam, and then a 450 splash from Seisman on top rope onto Shah, and Shah takes the pin. 1, 2, 3. The winners are Hendry and Seisman. So the question is, are they going to get? Is Seisman now going to get his title match or not? I think we're not. I think we'll find out next week. But next week's show. So overall, this show was a 5-star rating. That's why I'm not going over the match as much as I normally would, because I will take away from the action for you guys. I want you to go and, I've given you the results, and I always do that. But what I want you to do is go and watch these people, because what we're seeing now is we're seeing a rise in the UK indie scene. You've got companies like Progress, you've got ICW, but there's like 50 other companies, if not more, in Britain at the moment doing wrestling shows. And there's wrestling shows more or less every day of the week now in Britain with these companies featuring names that, you won't know. But like I've done on my channel, the Fallen Star series, which I've stopped because I wasn't really doing Fallen Star any justice with that series. You've got names like Tom Falcon, Furio, Jimmy Starr, Matt Walters, you've got Zack Sabre Jr., you've got UK Hooligans, the Knights, all those sort of, WAW, Fallen Star, ICW, Progress, PCW, NGW, Chaos. I could list those off. Fight Club Pro. There's so many companies out there that I could sit here all day listing these companies off to you, what I have seen action from. You've got Rise. I don't really know where Rise is based, but it's it's very similar to ICW, but it's more CZW/ICW crossed, because you have someone called Big Joe who wrestles with Bulk. You have Bulk there as well, and there's a lot of hardcore stuff, and it is an over 18 show every time. So it's that sort of stuff now, and even WAW are starting to dive into those over 18 shows now by doing the weekend shows. They do I think this time they got Bellatrix on a Friday. They're going back to old school because they're in Epic, where World of Sport's filmed, and there's a big hoo-ha about that when World of Sport got together. But you've got those guys together, and then you've got your Saturday show, and you've got your Kid Mania in the afternoon and one Saturday show. Then you've got an over 18 shows with death matches and stuff on the night after, on the Sunday night. So they do a whole weekend of wrestling, and that's the sort of thing you're starting to see a lot more of now. And with Impact now coming back with Wrestling MediaCon tonight, I'm going to run through the card for you guys in a minute, but you'll see the sort of thing you're going to get to see on that show, and I want you to go and watch it on Twitch, because it's going to be awesome. But next week, 5-star show. Wrestling Night, everybody did awesome. Moment of the night, had to be the ladder match, the moves they did with the ladder, but my favourite bit was the flying elbow, what Adam Access did off the top rope and took Nathan Cruz out, even if it didn't hit very well, it looked amazing. Next week you've got Aisha versus Viper. David Boy Smith is back, taking on Adam McSteff. Will Ospreay's making a special appearance, and this is the first time it's been done, I think, ever, anywhere in any company have done this. It's going to be Ospreay and Bree Priestley taking on the couple. So it's couple versus couple here, BT Gunn and Kaylee Ray. That is something to be looking forward to. Right, so this evening, I'm going to slide you over, if that's okay. I'm going to just slide you over, because I should have done this prior, but hey-ho. So tonight is Impact Wrestling at WrestleMediaCon. Now, I want you guys to watch this show, so I'm going to just run down the MediaCon, because the card for WrestleMediaCon is awesome. Now I've got something coming up again. I don't know why it does this. Close window. Sorry about this, guys, but it's not coming up for some reason. Impact Wrestling Media Con. I'm just trying to get the website to open. My computer's been... Whenever I go on these websites on their own, I'm getting the World Sport Tour. If you want to look that up, it's the World Sport Stars live on tour in iconic British venues from January to February. So, you know, go and watch it. I think it's going to be quite good. All the wrestlers are going to be there. So I think with the fact they've announced a tour now, and the tour's been announced, and now they've, you know, kind of continuing, I think they're going to tape another series about April, May time, and probably... Or maybe just do what they used to do and have it full time. Can we just open up, please? I don't know why you're being so slow about it. So yeah, I know for the fact that you've got a load of World of Sport guys are going to be there tonight, including the Impact versus Impact. It's going to be UK versus Impact. And now my computer is frozen. I know you've got Justin Seisen's going to be there. I think Nathan Cruz is there as well. I'm not sure on this. But yeah, okay, I'm not going to be able to do what I wanted to do because the computer is now frozen and this web page is frozen entirely. Some sort of script. Let's just stop that script, thank you. So, this is the card I've got up in front of me now. You've got Jimmy Havoc taking on Sami Callihan. And I do believe that that is a... Let's have a look. So Jimmy Havoc versus Sami Callihan in a, I think it's a no rope barbed wire baseball bat match. You've got Eddie Edwards and Justin Seisen taking on Moose and Nathan Cruz. So yeah, that's a World of Sport match right there. Rich Swann, Matt Sydal and Trevor Lee. Joe Hendry and Eli Drake. LAX taking on Jody Flesh and Johnny Storm. You got Lana Austin taking on Sue Young. Max Dead and Robbie X taking on the team of Muck, Cluxy and Steel as well. So there you go, you got a team of 2 World of Sport guys on this show. It's going to be quite an exciting night, I think. So tune in, 5 o'clock, live on Twitch. Watch it with me and I'll review it as soon as it's happened. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this episode. I'm sorry if I went a bit quiet while I was trying to get the card up. My computer's been a bit of a nuisance. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. 5-star World of Sport. Go and find it on demand. Go and find it wherever you can. And watch it because it's a brilliant show. The World of Sport every week is getting better and better, and this week was the best show I've seen so far. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I'll see you again somewhere else, whether it be TWE or Wrestling Review. And I thank you for watching. Thanks for watching, guys.